Hi, I'm Pastor Gary, and I'm doing the Going Deeper for this week. And this time I'm doing the Going Deeper for the sermon that I preached this past Sunday. The sermon is something that we all can relate to. Is when we're surrounded by so many demands in our lives that we're just overwhelmed. So many demands that we just can't even get away from. And the sermon was based on Psalm 22, which talks about the psalmist being surrounded by the bulls of Bashan. Means that they're breathing down their neck. They can't get away from it at all. And sometimes we feel like that in our own life. And we have this additional pull in our lives as Christians because we're commanded by Christ to help one another, to help the others in need, to help the hungry, to help the homeless. So that just fills up our plate. And one of the things I talked about, just mentioned briefly in the sermon, was the guilt we may feel as Christians when we feel like we're not doing enough. And I have to admit that I felt this too at my previous church. I would be the one that would talk to people who came to the front door, the transients, looking for assistance, looking for help. And it was always a quandary for me. Do I help them? Do I not? Are they really sincere people that really are in need? Or are they just trying to play the con game like many of them were? So after I would help them or not help them, I always felt this sense of guilt. Did I do the right thing? Did I do the right thing? And we can be obsessed with this guilt. It really did kind of haunt me. Every time I would either turn somebody away or I would help somebody out with a light bill or something like that, I was wondering, am I really helping them out, or am I continuing to enable them in this behavior that they have? And I knew I had to get over this guilt. It was just hovering over me constantly, almost like those bulls were hovering over me in Psalm 22. Now, some people would say that, you should help them out just as a Christian, and that because it's just between them and God. But then that puts an overwhelming demand on us, and plus it depletes the funds that we had at the church. And other people will just say, "You got to show tough love. Got to show tough love," which mainly a lot of times was an excuse not to do anything. So I needed to find a good balance. I needed to be comfortable with that balance, and I didn't know how to be comfortable with that balance. So I basically got to the point where I just felt like I did the best I could. I did a little research. I prayed with them. I looked in their background and saw their need, and then just did what I felt was best. And I knew God knew my heart. God knew my heart, that I was being sincere and honest about this, and I didn't bother with, did I do the right thing or did I do the wrong thing? God would forgive me whatever happened because He knew my heart. God knows my heart and the decision that I made. And that was really freeing up the guilt for me. So this is just an example of how I had to deal with the guilt of as a Christian for all those who came to the door wanting, I need help, please help me. And I felt a sense of peace, that peace that passes all understanding. Thank you.